A breakthrough brought cheers and a collective sigh of relief this weekend. Early Saturday morning, engineers drilling one of the 3 rescue tunnels broke through to the 33 trapped men, just as we were live on The Early Show. Horns honking. I have no idea if the microphone can pick it up, but it would appear that they have broken through. It sparked celebrations as relatives received the best news since they learned the miners were alive back in August. I'm so happy I can't contain my heart, Maria Segovia told us. We first met Maria last week at a camp she set up along the main road to the mine. She came here 67 days ago as soon as she learned about the collapse. She's been keeping vigil ever since. There is still work ahead. Your brother is still trapped underground. Are you anxious, nervous, or relieved?
Sí, falta.
Yes, there's still work to be done, but the hard part is over, she says. The rescue operation is, in fact, one of the most complex ever attempted. Jeff Hart works for the drilling company, Lane Christensen.
I would say it's probably the most difficult hole we've ever drilled.
Why?
It's the formation, the type of drilling, the angle of the hole.
Hart, an American from Colorado, was in charge of the so-called Plan B drill and was at the controls when it broke through.
We were holding our breath. We've been up for days to make sure we get this done. So
tell me about that moment when you realized, oh my gosh, we've knocked through.
Well, it was extremely overwhelming.
Engineers then sent a camera down the shaft and determined late last night they'll need to line about 300 feet of the tunnel with a protective casing. That process should take about a day and a half, all to prepare the tunnel shaft for the rescue capsule dubbed the Phoenix. It should begin hoisting miners to the surface on Wednesday. Clinton Craig was part of the team that came to Chile from NASA. He advised the Chilean Navy on the design of the capsule.
They're going to have a communications network so they can talk to the miner. They'll have lighting inside the cage besides the oxygen.
But before any miners come out, a doctor and a rescue expert will go in. Miners will leave in a prearranged order. First the strongest and most able to offer information, then the sickest, and finally those considered psychologically sound enough to be the last ones out. It's a real-life drama that has turned world attention to an unlikely place. The desolate Atacama Desert, among the driest places on Earth, about 500 miles north of Chile's capital, Santiago. For miles around, there's almost nothing, or used to be almost nothing. You can see the vast open desert behind me here, but a better way to get a sense of the scale from this operation is up here on the mountainside. You can see as the main road comes into this little makeshift community with hundreds of people along a main road, some media, some family members all gathered, all in the shadow of the mining operation just there. Along the main dirt road is where Maria Segovia set up her small camp. Many of the families want to stay out of the media spotlight, so they're in these tents in a separate part of what has been dubbed Camp Hope. But avoiding the media here isn't easy. When we first arrived, this was not even a parking lot. Now it is jam-packed with campers, with tents, with satellite dishes, housing the estimated 1,000 journalists from media outlets around the world. All to witness this story of hope, a tale of suspense, which is not yet over. Most of all for the men half a mile underground, who've now been trapped longer than anyone in known history. Dr. Jeffrey Lieberman is chief of psychiatry at Columbia University in New York.
These miners have come through this extraordinarily well because of their own internal resilience and abilities, because of the extraordinary rescue effort that was mounted by the Chilean government. But they're going to bear the scars. They're never going to be the same.
But in the shadow of this now infamous mine, there's a growing feeling that the healing process can finally begin. You've lived here, you've been here for 2 months. How is it to have this day come? Maria Segovia told us it means we're one step closer to fulfilling our promise. We all said we'd stay here until my brother and all others were out, so we could go home together. We came here together, and we're leaving together.